and a very good morning from Warsaw here in Poland. We've arrived for our UEFA Conference League Play-Off with Legia Warsaw. My name's Gavin Rittoo and you're listening to Good Morning from Warsaw, a brand new podcast that aims to bring you closer to the action out here on our travels. We'll get straight to it. We'll set the scene for you first. We're sat outside the Radisson Hotel here in central Warsaw. There's a bit of background music and cars going past, so if you do hear that, that is why. And I'm delighted to be joined again by John Greechan. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
You've just done it wrong again. Deliberate, isn't it?
How are you, John?
I'm all right, mate, yeah.
Good to see you.
Beautiful city.
Yeah, definitely. And we're also alongside Adam Tomlinson from the communications and media team here at Hibs. KP couldn't make it. I think he's maybe still in his bed. So we've had a good substitute out there. But Adam, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. All good. We'll get straight into it. Well, first of all, John, you've been here a day or so. How was last night and how's the last kind of 24 or 40 hours been for you?
I'm still digesting last night's dinner because they do a lot of meat here and it's a lot of pretty heavy stuff. Magnificent place. It's a great city. Also was out at the Legia training ground yesterday, which is a long way out of the city, so a fair journey, but it's huge because it's out in the middle of nowhere. So many pitches. They seem like what you would expect, a very modern European club, very professional, all geared up for this.
What was the messages kind of coming out from the camp? Because you were at the pre-match press conference as well.
Yeah, like I think Edward Jordanescu is an incredibly articulate manager in English. He doesn't actually do anything in Polish. He does his answers in English and it gets translated to Polish because he's Romanian. But he'll use words like protagonist. He's a really articulate way of doing it. The really fascinating thing, I think we were chatting about it earlier, there's a little bit of a Brendan Rodgers Celtic situation going on here.
Right, okay.
With he clearly feels that he's not been given the support he needs in the transfer market to compete on getting to the Conference League. First of all, they were trying to get in the Europa League, get into the Conference League and win the Championship. So there were some more than veiled hints about that yesterday, about everyone at this club knows what I want and what I don't want, what I accept and what I don't accept. No coach likes losing a player because they're about to lose the boy. I'm going to mispronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try it. Yeah, mispronounce it worse than you mispronounced mine. Big Jan, the centre half.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about transfers, because am I right in saying he's due to have a medical in Rome on Friday?
Pretty much,
correct?
Yeah. This has been going on for about a month now, and there was even chat before the first leg, would he play in Edinburgh, would he travel? And they've made it very clear that Legia were haggling with Rome over the price, but they were also haggling about the timing, saying, look, we need him to get us into the Conference League effectively now. So, yeah, it'll be a done deal. Again, Jordanescu asked about that yesterday, will he play? And he's like, no doubt in the guy. 22 years old, but incredibly mature, incredibly stable player. So, yeah, his last game tonight. Yeah,
so we think that he will play. Right, so that's a little bit on Legia. Adam, we did our press conference out on Monday before flying out yesterday. Can you just tell us a little bit about the team's travel and how we made it here?
Yeah, so the team basically travelled yesterday. So they trained at HTC in the morning, hopped on a flight at Edinburgh mid-afternoon, and then arrived into sunny Warsaw yesterday around 6 p.m. So we went straight to the stadium, magnificent stadium, it has to be said. We were showing where the Hibs fans are going to be, and it looks like a really good area for the kind of 1,700 travelling Hibs fans, where the Legia Ultras will be as well. Apparently the atmosphere will be insane once again, like similar to Partizan. I've told you it could be even better than that, so I'm sure everyone's looking forward to that. But the players arrived at the stadium, they had a look round, walked on the pitch, went into the dressing room, probably spent about half an hour there and then came back to the hotel and then rested up. Yeah,
just kind of familiarising ourselves with surroundings and stuff. How does the stadium compare the one out in Belgrade to Warsaw here? Because it's a much more kind of modern new stadium while still having that European feel to it.
Yeah, I was speaking to one of their media guys yesterday, and he was saying that the stadium went through a redevelopment in 2007. So there's a lot of modern touches to it. You walk into the ground and immediately you can just tell the gravitas around the club and the size of the club and the stadium. And I think again it shows the elite competition that we're playing in Europe, and again shows how excellently we performed at Easter Road to go toe-to-toe with that level of opposition as well, who are used to playing in Europe year on year.
Yeah, let's talk about the first leg then. John, what have we learned from that first leg?
Probably, as Adam was saying there, you're underlining the level of football you're at, and I think this can't be taken for granted. If you look at this run, it's been you don't want to get knocked out of Europe by some team you've never heard of, possibly from a part of the world you've not heard or not very familiar with. This has been a proper run. You've had the Michelin, who are the modern driving force, always competing at that level or higher. You've had Partizan with an incredible history and support, and now you've got Legia, again, very, very similar. So I think for the first leg you've learned, I don't know, they're good, they're quick, they're strong, they move the ball very well. Sometimes everything you fear when you watch a Scottish team in Europe, you go, right, let's see what this team are like, and you go, oh, right, okay, they can pop the ball around. But that didn't happen from the start last week. The start from Hibs last week was phenomenal. And I know Josh Mulligan, I'm chatting to him about it, what are we doing with that first chance? And he's like, I don't know. Don't know, mate. I just thought, oh, he's coming across, I should take, and he's like, I should have just hit it, right? Yeah, you should just hit it. So there was all these moments in there. I think we learned, listen, I want just to chat about something that David Gray said when we were chatting to him the other day about the fans and the atmosphere and the support, home and away. And we saw this at home and saw it away. He says, you kind of take it for granted at times, that there's this passion and this like love and these scenes. And we're seeing these videos going global of people picking up on the Hibs away, Casey and the Sunshine Band type thing, but also again, doing it on my way from misery to happiness today after the home game. Yeah. These scenes are kind of enhancing the reputation of the club abroad, and the gaffer is right. You take it for granted. He said just like you take Edinburgh for granted when he's trying to sign players, and they go, oh, Edinburgh, and he's like, oh yeah, right enough, yeah. He said, well, I grew up in Edinburgh, so I just take it for granted that it's this beautiful city.
Yeah, so I think it gets lost on you sometimes.
Yeah, so almost like the first game, I think it's just been a continuation of kind of, as you were saying, Adam, an underlining of what level Hibs are competing at now, and it feels, almost regardless of what happens, almost regardless, it feels like it's been a brilliant experience regardless.
Yeah, and it was interesting that first leg, just in terms of how well we started the game, and obviously the first couple of games have been the second leg at home, so you almost know what you deal with. In that first leg, both teams are kind of feeling each other out. And Adam, as John kind of alluded to there, we did miss some big chances to go ahead and take a lead out here, but how crucial could that Josh Mulligan goal at the end prove to be in terms of giving us a lifeline in the tie?
Yeah, it could be massive. David Gray has been very consistent in his message, and we've all seen it, right? Following the club, working for the club, supporting the club. Momentum is massive in football, and we saw it last year when things changed at Aberdeen, how important Rocky's last-minute equaliser was, and really how that catapulted us on for the rest of the season. That Josh Mulligan goal, I mean, we were talking about it, Gav, straight after the first leg, when Legia scored their third before it went to VAR. The tie was a totally different animal.
Yeah.
To then basically go from being 3-0 down to 2-1 down going into the second leg.
It's like a 2-goal swing.
It's a 2-goal swing. It's a huge momentum shift. And I also think that gives the players then a lot of belief in what we're doing, that we can come here and get a result. We did it in Partizan. So they'll then be believing, well, we created all these chances. We've dealt with a pretty ferocious atmosphere in Belgrade. Why can't we come and do it again?
Yeah, definitely. And that atmosphere in Belgrade was brilliant to be a part of from the stands. I imagine brilliant for the players as well, and they totally thrived in it. And the fans out there, the Hibs fans as well, seem to love it too. There was about 300-400 Hibs fans out in Belgrade, plenty more here though in Warsaw. I think 1,700 is the allocation which we've sold out. Met a few of them last night.
Probably met 300 or 400 last night. Yeah.
How important will they be for supporting the team?
It's been amazing, the away support. Even like the lack of numbers, because it was so hard to quickly turn around and get to Belgrade on short notice. The way it was, the folk that were out there made a noise and kept it going, and more of them played their part. Even if they might have lost a flag along the way, I think. I know some people that were there. They're like, we didn't even notice that. We're like, where's the flag gone? Oh, somebody snipped it. So, yeah, they'll play a huge part tonight. You'll hear them. You know that. You'll definitely hear them. I'm slightly concerned it's supposed to get up to 31 degrees today.
Yeah.
And there is some, I'm going to say Polish beer is quite strong. So I would caution everyone, maybe the odd shandy, maybe the odd Coke Zero break today, because otherwise you might not remember the game.
Yeah, we're nicely kind of situated in the shade here, but you can already kind of feel that heat.
It's going to be really hot, even at kickoff, isn't it? Like 23, 24 at kickoff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what sometimes the pre-season camp can do when you're used to maybe playing in hotter conditions or whatever, but it's one of these things that you just kind of get used to. And almost the two legs at Easter Road were also played in very hot conditions for Scotland anyway.
Yeah.
Adam, just on supporters, KP is not here, so you are a supporter liaison officer for this podcast. Where's the best for them to go if they're wanting to have a drink or get a bit of food or whatever before the game? And I know that there's some details of the fan zone that you wanted to kind of touch upon as well.
Yeah, firstly, it was great to kind of engage me, chat to a load of supporters yesterday evening. There was a really positive atmosphere around the city, and Ian Gordon, Malcolm Mackay, Dan Barnett were all speaking to supporters as well, which was great to see. Today, leading up to the game, there's a couple of areas that the club has worked hard on kind of securing, so there's safe spaces for fans to go and have a drink. One of them is the Bolick pub. All this information is on the club website, but that is the kind of main base for Hibs fans, and a little bit of a fan zone that the club has put on for the supporters that have travelled out here. So when supporters are kind of collecting their tickets for the match today, they'll be handed with drinks vouchers, 2 drinks vouchers, which has been generously donated by Ian Gordon and the Gordon family, to thank them for their support and all the effort for coming out here to Poland. It's a kind of 900 capacity venue, I think 700 inside and then 200 outside. I think with this weather there'll be so many more people wanting to go outside anyway, right? But yeah, food, drink, and there'll be music as well. Jack McLeod will be playing in there, and Hibs' very own Jez Simpson from the maintenance team, DJing Ibiza occasionally, so he'll love the shout out, so he'll be down there as well. So that could be a really, really good atmosphere. And then there's other bars and restaurants that I think a lot of Hibs fans were at yesterday. Spot
on. So and that's open in the afternoon, so you could just kind of pop in and out of that as you please, but there's a certain capacity on it, is that right?
Yeah. So again, Hibs fans can, I think it's between 12 and 6:30.
Cool.
And then capacity for the Bolek is around 900, but then there's the kind of 2 Shamrock Irish bars as well as another Irish pub. So there's plenty of kind of safe places for Hibs fans to do.
Cool. And then just a bit on ticket collection. So there's obviously 1,700 Hibees, but with tickets to the game, they will need their email confirmation and their passport to collect their tickets from one of the ticket distribution points.
Yeah, that's a really kind of key point to this, and supporters will need their passport on them to collect their ticket, but they'll also need their passport when going into the stadium, because there will be checks, as far as we've been made aware, checking people's passport numbers and the passport number that correlates on the match ticket.
Okay.
So that's a really key thing for supporters to remember. If you are collecting your ticket, you have until 5 p.m. Today to collect that from the Presidential Hotel. If you don't get it before 5, there'll be a collection point at the stadium between 7 and 9.
Okay, cool. Right, plenty of information dumped on you there for the listeners, but Adam, you did very well as supporter liaison officer.
Thank you.
But all that information is on the club website as well, so make sure you head onto the website www.hibernianfc.co.uk and then hit the support information. It'll be at the top of the website. Just finally, before we finish then, John, how do you see it panning out tonight, and are we going to do it?
I'm going to do my usual 5-4.
Yeah, score prediction.
5-4 and then 9-8 on penalties. No, yeah. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if there were goals tonight. Maybe not 9, but extra time. No, I wouldn't be surprised if there were goals. I'm just not sure Legia the coach yesterday was continuing saying we're playing to win, and that's how you would approach this game if it's in your situation. Well, Hibs have been in that situation, but if you're 2-1 up, you go, look, let's go out, get the first goal and kill it. So they'll try. I think Hibs have got enough going forward against any team to cause problems. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were goals. Listen, if they pull it off, it's one of the great results in the modern era. And one of the great results for a Scottish club outside the big two, although even including the big two given the week they've had. But it would be a real statement result if they could pull this off. Yeah,
definitely. And I know Martin Boyle was doing the press earlier, and he kind of alluded to the fact that goals change games and stuff like that, and we've seen that in the European games that we've played so far. Adam, how important is that first goal tonight?
I think it is important from a momentum perspective, but there was a lot of chat about how important the first goal was in the second leg against Partizan, and we conceded the first 2 goals and then had to adapt. I think one of the key things with David Gray's teams is you can't write them off. They'll keep going until the very last minute. They'll work hard, they'll put everything into it. So yes, I think the first goal is important, but if we don't get that, David Gray said all along, to win the tie, we need to score 2 goals anyway. So it doesn't change it too much. Don't panic if we don't score the first goal.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, Adam, John, it's great having you both. John, what does the rest of the day look like for you?
Right. I'm going to wander for a little bit, and then we'll have our traditional European lunch about 2 o'clock, so that we can
keep you going all
day, and then I might actually have a nap, which sounds terrible. It sounds like I'm an OAP, but only because I've got such an early flight tomorrow. I'll do what I did in Belgrade, which is you go back to the hotel and just work straight through to getting picked up at 4 a.m. to get to your flight. So I seem to remember the Friday when I got home from Belgrade was not great. I was lying on the sofa, not sure what day it was. So that'll be my Friday plan anyway. Don't make any signings, right? Friday afternoon, I'm not having 3 boys. Listen, this is the worst nightmare for me. Hibs go through and it's like we made 4 signings to deal with this. Here comes Scotland Internationals and superstars coming in the door, and I'm like, too tired to deal with this, guys. Put it off till Monday.
Safe travels and safe journey while you're out here, John. Adam will be floating about probably around the Bolek pub, meeting some fans as well. So if you do see us, make sure you come and say hello, and we'll be there with our Hibs TV cameras. But John, Adam, it's great to have you both. If you're listening along at home, you can watch the action. Kick-off is at 8 o'clock UK time, and it's on Solid Sport, so you can head to the Hibs website to purchase a pass. Thank you very much again for joining us, and we'll see you all again very soon.